This week we'll be talking about The Stealth War by Brigadier General Robert Spalding. General Spalding is a US Air Force veteran, and he has served in the NSA and with the Chief of Staff in variety of capacities, and in these capacities he got exposure as to the nature of Chinese influence on US soil. And this book, Stealth War, depicts the kind and the nature of activities that China has undertaken on US soil that is sort of a conflict between China and US. Now, the first concept that General Spalding is introducing is the concept called unrestricted warfare. Now, this concept of unrestricted warfare was developed by two generals of the PLA, that is the People's Liberation Army of China, and it depicts a kind of warfare that is non-military type. So military is one type of warfare. This unrestricted warfare depicts the scenarios and the ways in which you can use economics, politics, information wars and all sorts of technology to use against an enemy country. Now, General Spalding spends first few chapters depicting variety of phases and areas in which the activities of the Chinese Communist Party has actually played according to the rule book. Some of these activities include the trade war, where China artificially keeps its currency depreciated and sort of bleeds out the US middle class. The other aspects are the economic warfare, the infrastructure war. There are a variety of other aspects to technological warfare also. Another important piece of this puzzle is using corrupt and co-opted politicians, bureaucrats, and that has also played out in the US. There is also element of denial of service attacks on US websites, which is basically hacking by Chinese hackers to steal technology, to steal patents, to steal information and processes relating to manufacture of very, very high-end sophisticated equipment, including military equipment. So all this has been highlighted in this first few chapters, and it is to an extent the scope which is mind-boggling. But very interesting to note that China also uses not just state actors and hackers and these kind of players in this war, but it also uses its students and overseas Chinese residents to coerce them into sharing secrets or thereby furthering the agenda of the CCP. In the last couple of chapters, General Spalding highlights variety of solutions that he proposes for this. He doesn't go into too much detail naturally, but the list is quite exhaustive, and he has covered a substantial breadth of action that is required against the Chinese Communist Party. My thoughts on this book are more related to what non-Americans can learn from this actions of China in America. Now, for India, we have to understand that whatever is happening in US may be happening in India. It is definitely happening in Australia and New Zealand, and you find that the Chinese origin students in Australia and New Zealand have been pressurized to alter the viewpoint of the Australian and New Zealand universities with regards to Hong Kong, the political unrest in Hong Kong. I'm sure it may be happening in India also, and we need to be aware and we need to monitor that carefully. Secondly, India is also facing a manufacturing war with China. India has also been at the receiving end of very, very artificially low cost Chinese products flooding the Indian markets. So this has actually affected India's ability to gain traction on the manufacturing front, and this could be a well thought out strategy by China rather than a simple fallout of the global developments. We should also ensure that there is investigation into reliance on Chinese technology, both hardware in the form of cheap mobile phones and other such equipment, including printers, computers, and even white goods, and also software in terms of apps like TikTok or WeChat or payment channels through Alipay. And the next part of the puzzle that India particularly needs to understand is to determine the scope of Chinese intelligence gathering and its spread within the Indian political and social system. Now, our experience in 1960s and 70s when KGB widely infiltrated the Indian political and social establishment was very bad. In fact, it led to erosion of values on the political and social front, and that we have to be careful because China may definitely be using similar policy to compromise Indian political and social systems. Coming back to the book, The Stealth War is sort of a gateway book. It's the first book you would read to understand US-China conflicts. Now there are more books which go into further detail in terms of economic warfare, in terms of geopolitics, but this forms a very good summary of all the problems that are facing the US-China conflict in a nutshell. And General Spalding has been very lucid, and he has covered the breadth of the issues that we are experiencing in the US-China conflict. In my view, if you want to learn more about the US-China conflict and this book, do follow General Spalding on Twitter. His handle is @Robert_Spalding. I put it up on the screen. And also, if you want to learn more about the economic warfare, you can. There are many other books that we will be reviewing in coming weeks, and we look forward to you joining us on this book review journey. Like and share this video. Please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and join us for our weekly podcast for a more long form interaction. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.